I think this point I already briefly discussed yesterday, but now we need to really explore it. And this is the heart as what I call the body of knowing. That's how I regard the heart, as the layer of our being that actually the only layer of our being that can actually know. And now I need to explain what I mean by that. We always look for some kind of certainty, some kind of unchanging anchors inside us. This is particularly significant when our world begins to come apart, our mental world, our emotional world, our circumstances, things begin to become chaotic. Our mental world is very unstable. It is, first of all, it is by nature contradiction. The way thoughts appear is by pairs, you see. Each thought is always complemented by its opposite. That's why, for example, if you have some kind of thought and somebody sits in front of you and tells you about the other perspective, if you are open enough, you say, yeah, that is also true. Yeah, you can look at it from this other perspective. Everything has another perspective. And that's why when we try to make decisions, or we try to choose our path, all these choices, all these options, they come with their complementary option, which and both of them are reasonable, or the three of them are reasonable, or four of them are reasonable. And when obviously we in the jungle of thought, we easily get lost. Thoughts by nature contradict one another, and therefore doubt is inherent in our mental world. Do you understand what I'm saying? Doubt is inherent. It is a part of the mental world. It's actually what thoughts do best. They question. They present problems. They look at things, and then they look at them from another angle, and then everything becomes complicated and crazy. Of course, only if you expect thought to do something that it cannot and is not meant to do, which is to know with certainty. You see? If you rely on thought to know something with certainty, it's just not fair. It cannot do that. And then it becomes even more confused. So this happens very often when we try to stick to one thought, one ultimate thought against all others. This lasts sometimes 5 minutes, sometimes even when we're really good at deceiving ourselves a few years. At a certain point, the ocean of confusion washes and consumes that thought, and you realize, you feel that it's as if all that remains is doubt. Now, why is it so important? It is because when I am in an inner chaos, I need something to hold on to, something that cannot that cannot be washed away, cannot be consumed by my confusion. Now it's not so bad to sometimes enter what we call confusion, a crisis of uncertainty. Actually, crisis of uncertainty is a blessed event, because what it does is it washes away, it takes away everything that is unnecessary, everything that is insubstantial, that is not solid enough. Then it comes, it shows you that your whole world of certainty is actually a house of cards. It does like that, and you feel your whole world of reality, the way you have constructed reality, come apart. And once again, this is because we expect thoughts to tell us and to be able to tell us what is real and what is unreal. That's just, it's impossible. So even when I'm in a crisis of uncertainty, which is good, as I said, it's a good cleansing power if we know how to use it, and if we know what to do there in the midst of it. But although it is a strong it has a strong cleansing power, it still requires some kind of anchors, something. Otherwise, it's not confusion, a good confusion. It's just madness. You see, feeling that you are constructing your certainty, and then that you find yourself again in a complete confusion, in complete doubt of everything. That's cute for some years, but from a certain point onwards, it is just an indication of an immaturity of our soul. So you see, our thought moves between two extremes. One is ridiculous overconfidence. It's like, I know. I'm convinced that I know. My opinions describe perfectly reality. And we show off, and we tell people, and we become so overconfident. But then confusion strikes. And we might move to the other extreme, because our confidence was fake. It was just mental. Mental confidence doesn't last for long. Yes, for some really psychologically unstable people, it may last, like all kinds of people who belong perhaps to crazy ideologies. They somehow manage to keep up with the good work of their fake certainty. But that's not what we're talking about here. So doubt is a part of thought. And then the question is, what do I do when I'm in an anxiety attack and my whole body trembles? And or when my whole mental world comes apart, or my emotional world begins to become so overwhelming that I'm literally blind. I don't know where I am. I'm just groped by darkness. here is where the heart enters as the body of knowing. That's why I call it like that, to make it clear that it's a sort of a place in us, a part in us that holds a different type of clarity that has nothing to do with thought, that cannot be contrasted by thought, that it doesn't come with contradiction. And this knowing is a part in us that always exists beneath thought. It's not a part of the jungle. This is the term knowing. Knowing is not like knowledge. Knowledge is something completely different. Knowledge is just information that helps us know how. But knowledge is completely useless. It's just, it becomes, in moments of truth, it becomes just a bundle of quotes. And we are looking for something else, something that is not thinking, is not a mental activity, but it's a sort of profound and untouched confidence that simply cannot be washed away. And that's the part that we can actually find as an anchor, even when everything goes insane. We must have this thing. First of all, we must have this thing also because then that becomes our compass for expressing in the world. Because if I know, rather than think or feel, I also know what I am meant to express. And also what I'm meant to choose from within myself. So knowing is more like a direct insight. And this knowing comes from three different sources. One, it's our very own life experiences from which we extricate true wisdom, you see. We are going through certain experiences, and these experiences make us understand very essential and general things. It's almost, think of it, I like very much this metaphor of bees that move from one flower to another to pick the pollen and to create the honey, you see. The honey is like the essence of all those flowers. It's the sweetness of that is refined, that the refined result of all of our experiences. And as opposed to what we think, we're actually accumulating a lot of honey from our experiences. We just don't put it like that, and we have a tendency, you see, about the good things to forget them. We only remember the bad things. When it comes to traumas, we are like encyclopedia. You see, we categorize and put everything into beautiful boxes and we cherish them and we keep them forever. It's very clear to us that if we start talking about a trauma, then we immediately start crying because it happened right now. It happened yesterday. It's still in me. It's still in the body. Obviously, it haunts me. But when it comes to good things, yeah, it was a wonderful experience. It was just a memory. Now it's no longer here. Isn't it strange? How can it be that we accept that strong negative impressions would never leave us, but strong positive impressions are just memories? That they don't become solid layers of understanding in us. You follow, right? That's the thing. Every experience we're having, by the way, also the negative experiences, every experience from that we have in which we have understood something becomes one more layer in our body of knowing. It is stored in our heart as wisdom, as understanding, and it doesn't really go away. We just overlook it. This is especially true about spiritual experiences and peak experiences. People always think that the whole thing of spirituality is to be on high, you see? Like to have some unbelievable experiences, and if you don't have an unbelievable experience, then that means that you're out of touch. But this is the most untrue thing you could ever think about spiritual experience, because the whole thing about spiritual experiences, the whole purpose is to create the body of knowing. You see? What you need to have always active is the body of knowing and not the experiences. Experiences can go forever. But if you have the body of knowing active, that's what you are meant to merge with. Ideally, ultimately, we become an embodiment of the body of knowing. We are, and that creates a total, unchanging confidence. And as soon as we have the body of knowing, we don't need to repeat the experience. Experience can come, yes, of course, but it doesn't have to come, because if you know, why do you need an experience? Do you understand? Why do you need it? If you, for example, you know you have had an undeniable experience that all is one, that there is only one in this universe. Why do you need another experience of oneness if you already know that all is one? Do you understand? What's the point? What, again? To see, oh my God, I can't believe it, all is one. And then again, oh my God. Now I need it clearer, stronger. The only thing that craves this kind of heightening and increase and repetition of experiences is the mind, which forgets. Do you understand? Because it immediately washes away the experience by contradictory thought. That everything is not one, and maybe what I experienced was wrong, and so maybe I need it more powerful, clearer, and so on and so on. But the mind would always lose the knowing. Do you understand? Because it doesn't grasp like that. It's the thinking machine always changes by nature. it doesn't really accumulate, and that's the thing. It can accumulate only knowledge in, for example, of driving, how to drive a car, or how to, I don't know, to take care of the technicalities. This it knows how to repeat, hopefully, when there's no Alzheimer or something. But but it cannot remember certainties. You see? It loses them because it keeps on changing all the time.